Hello, and welcome once again to the BSN Avalanche Film Rundown, a show where we look at the who, what, why, and how of everything on the ice for the Avs. I'm Nathan Rudolph, and on today's show we're looking at why Sam Girard is ready to be the Avs' #1 defenseman.
And a pump check by Sam Girard.
Listed at 5'10", 170 pounds, Girard is, without a doubt, on the smaller side for an NHL defenseman. However, he is just big enough that it doesn't really present as much of an issue for him. He's never going to be overly physical or run anyone over with his strength, but it doesn't keep him from being a quality defenseman, particularly on the defensive side. He's still able to make it work. With good stick work and great skating on that side of the puck, on offense he shows great vision, his patented spin move, and the ability to read the play quite well. Let's start off with that spin move. He's able to do it pretty much anywhere on the ice, though most regularly uses it at the offensive blue line and can do it in either direction. In general, the goal of the spin move is to get the defending player suckered in as far as possible, ideally moving towards the puck and not Girard's body. And once you've gotten him in as deep as you can go, you spin to create a skating lane. When it works extremely effectively, you'll see like this. Girard now has a lane all the way in deep into the zone, but most of the time it's not quite that great. However, it will open up a lane walking the blue line, giving him plenty of space, as well as the added bonus of protecting the puck, not really having any chance of a turnover. At its peak, it gives Girard a lane to walk into and fire off a shot to score out of. The spin move is great and quite effective, but what is maybe more important is what Girard is able to do afterward, and that's where this second part comes into play. This is a nothing play where the Avs win the faceoff back to Girard. Girard collects the puck here, and you'll see immediately what he looks to do is step up into the zone. The Sharks are not charging aggressively, leaving him a nice buffer to step into. Girard doesn't do much with it, but he does step up into it. You can see the defenders are dragging towards him as Nathan MacKinnon sweeps in behind. Girard then leaves the puck for MacKinnon, and MacKinnon has plenty of room of his own to work with because Girard has set up the defense by stepping up. In the offensive zone, I truly believe that Girard's ability to skate into space and recognize when he can skate into space is his strongest one. By doing that, he draws defenders to him, and that opens up space for other players, and then he can lean into his distributing ability. And that passing and vision comes into play not only in the offensive zone, but when the Avs are on the breakout as well. You can see Girard first showing off his elusiveness, getting away from Getzlaf easily here, circling back to give himself enough space to get his head up and look down the ice. What he looks up and sees is JT Compher standing all the way down at the Ducks' blue line, and he just fires off a nice little pass that gets just enough air that no one can knock it down, and it lands perfectly on Compher's stick. Girard's not going to make a perfect 80-foot sauce pass every time he fires it up the ice, but it is a tool he has in the toolbox, one that he can bust out with some regularity. As far as taking a step offensively and becoming that #1 type guy, it's his passing that needs to shine through. He needs to set up players regularly, and they need to finish. His shot is never going to be great. It's something he needs to work on. It's something that needs to be better this season, but it's not going to be at the same level of someone like a Tyson Barrie. Getting back to his skating ability, it's also something that he can use a lot defensively. The Avs lose possession of this puck, and you're going to see Girard gets caught at the blue line a little bit here. Aho is going to take off up the ice and go up the near boards, while Girard sits facing backwards for a bit too long. This allows Aho to get up to speed and beat Girard, but as Girard is able to turn around and turn on his own jets, he's able to cut down the angle. He smartly stays skating straight up the middle of the ice, trying to cut the angle of the goal off, and his skating is strong enough that he's just able to get back and then makes a fantastic poke check to break up the play. What Girard lacks in physicality, he's able to make up with fantastic skating, stick work, and positioning. With that good skating, even if he starts out a little bit out of position, he's regularly able to recover, and that makes it hard for opponents to make plays, whether it's being in the passing lane or cutting off the angle to the goal. Here's a play that you see something similar to regularly. The Sharks have a 4-on-2 coming up the ice with the puck coming towards Girard on the near side. Girard does a good job of maintaining his gap and shrinking it as they approach the blue line. He picks out Radil as the man being most aggressive skating into the zone and does a good job to flick his stick into that passing lane consistently. You can see he constantly keeps his stick moving, flicking it back and forth, giving that little showing of maybe you can get this pass through, but then sticking the stick right back into the way. There's no way you're getting that pass into Radil and having a good quality chance deep in the zone that way. Forces the puck back to the trailer and buys a bit of time as the Avs try and recover and get back for this rush. A long shot that isn't very dangerous ends up coming through, and the Avs escape without much problem. Girard's never going to win many battles net front or win pucks on board battles. The way he has to play is keeping opponents to the perimeter, and when it does come to things like board battles, he'll have to win them with finesse, which is something he's completely capable of. All of these clips are nice and necessary for Girard to be a number one defenseman, but the big key here is going to be consistency. Girard has to come out and play at the top of his game every single night if he truly wants to take that spot. And here's the thing. I don't believe that Girard will likely ever be a high-end number one defenseman. In fact, long-term with the Avs, he probably won't even be their number one defenseman. But this year is his year to do it. Makar lacks the NHL experience. EJ is coming off yet another injury and more of a down year from last season, and that number one D spot is wide open. Girard was the Avs' most consistent D-man from last season, so the spot is his until someone proves otherwise. This has been why Sam Girard is ready to be the Avs' number one defenseman. Be sure to tune in next time when we take a look at what Jonas Donskoi is going to bring to the Avs forward core.